Everybody there? Wake up, rise and shine. Time to get on the road. Start of another beautiful day. I don't know if it's going to be a beautiful day as far as weather or not, but it's a beautiful day. I woke up. Hopefully the sun will shine here in a couple of hours. I'm going to take you on my road trip today. I'm heading up to Scottsville, Texas, about 75 miles from my house. I'm going to pick up some cable on reels and take it over to, where the heck am I going today? Utah, Richfield, Utah, and love driving in that area, and so it should be a nice, pretty trip. This is about as close to bumping docks as you'll get. This is, lots of times when you're getting loaded, well, not lots of times, very seldom, you'll have to back into a building. Sometimes shingles, they load this way, other things, but it's I've seen people that just back that trailer in there and let it rub all the way down, but they give you about 6-8 inches on each side, and you just back your trailer in there, and that way they can load it from the dock on the side. I use one chain apiece going across each, and got them all tight. And this is why I had to get creative. They couldn't move these reels over anymore. As you can see, the bracing, and it's right on the edge. So I had to put my hook for my binder on the stake pocket. Not the right thing to do, but unless I wanted to put 2 chains on everything, that's the way it ended up. All right, got loaded here. I'm gonna show you a picture or a video of what I got loaded with. I think it's 26 reels of cable, electrical cable, and man, I've been at this place a few times before, and with any place you go to, it sometimes helps to get proactive when they're loading it. These guys, they do a good job most of the time, but sometimes they don't understand the physics of how you're going to have to secure something. And this is one of those instances where I told the guy 2 or 3 times to try to stagger these reels, push the reels to one side of the trailer, and the next set of reels push them to the other side of the trailer. And I'll show you the reason for that. I'll take a picture of it if I remember. But the main reason is I've got binders. Some people use different binders. Some are smaller, some are bigger. When they do it this way that they did today, after I asked them, several times to do it the different way, the binders are too long. And so you're supposed to, if you can, hook the binder to one side of the chain and hook it through another side of the chain. You're not supposed to hook it on the rub rail or the stake pocket or anything like that. But people do it all the time. And in this instance, I only had enough chains to put one chain through everything. And it just worked out where my binders were too long to hook it chain to chain, link to link. And so I ended up using the rub rail and the stake pocket, and it's very secure. But every time if I hit a major bump or have to slam on my brakes, which you should anyway, you should go back and check the securement on it, because doing it that way, I've never had anything go wrong with it, but it's always in the back of my mind that something could. I love it when you pull up to the fuel island and nobody's fueling. Been waiting on this guy for 5 minutes. He hasn't been out here. There's nobody parked in front of him. So Continental Carbonic, thank you. Every once in a while, I have to use some patience. Don't like it. Thursday was a good day. It rained on me all day. Wind was bad, but when I got out to chain these reels down, it kind of slowed down with a little sprinkle, so I didn't get too wet doing all that. But made it to Amarillo last night. Wow, there's a train coming in. That is a bright light. Made it to Amarillo last night, and hopefully I'll make it into Colorado today. I'm going up 40, going to cut through Albuquerque and then kind of diagonally northwest, and see how far we make it today. It should be y'all heard that train whistle, but so hopefully I'll make it into Colorado today. It should be a pretty drive. Love driving out here.
started on this trip. Oil pressure went down about 2 psi. Wasn't worried too much about it. It was coming up on time to. My oil change, last oil change was about 10,000 miles ago. But the next day, toward the end of the day, it went down another 5 psi. And today, it went down another 7 or 8 psi. So now I'm down to
I don't know, about 22 psi on there. And of course, I'm out here on I-70 in Utah, and I am in a stretch of highway here where there isn't a single store. There's no services whatsoever in this 100-mile stretch, and so I'm got my fingers crossed, and I'm praying that I make it up here. There's a Kenworth dealership up here in Richfield, and I'll stop and get an oil filter and change it out and see if that helps it out any way. Got my fingers crossed. That's all it is. Hoping it's not an oil pump or something of that nature where I have to take it to a shop, because I don't have the right tools to do that out here. But we'll see. Alright, so here we are, middle of nowhere, Utah, and I'm going to change this oil filter. As you can see, it's in the worst possible spot. But let's see what we can do. That took no time whatsoever. However, in my rush to get this done and get back on the road to see if this was the problem, I should have let the engine cool down and let all the oil flow back down to the oil pan, because when I took the oil filter off, all the oil was still draining, so a lot of it came out. Probably about a couple of quarts of oil came out. I don't know if you can see that there, but this turned out to be a whole lot easier than first suspected, because I was able to get my filter wrench on right there. Boom, came right off. Easy peasy. Alright, so just changed the filter. That's where I'm at idle now, whereas before it was down to 10 and 15. And let's rev it up here. And that's about normal right there. So we'll do a highway test, but got my fingers crossed. Hopefully I got lucky. All right, so we got lucky. They made that delivery, changed out my fuel filter, and it fixed the problem. Knock on wood, thank God, and all that. That load paid $2,800. It was a little under 1,400 miles, so it could have been, basically 2 days of driving. It took 2.5 days. I could have picked something up, within a couple of hours after I dropped that one before noon if I needed to. But so $2,800, pretty good profit on that one, and we're on to the next one.